Welcome back to Frank Grayton on YouTube. It's been a while since I've done any videos. I needed to take a while, take some time away in order to clear my head and set my priorities again and make sure that I was in a mentally healthy place. Today, we're going to be talking about 5 tips to overcome objections. Perhaps you're in a line of work, you're in a business where you are dealing with the objections, perhaps of your customers, maybe of your staff, maybe even of your children. But today I'm going to give you some tips that I think would help you to overcome objections. If you are new to our YouTube channel, please take a second to subscribe, to follow, click the like button, and it would help us with the YouTube algorithms and help us with reaching more people. So number one, if you are in a place where you are consistently dealing with objections, anticipate what those objections are early, but deal with the objections in your initial presentation. Here's what I mean by that. You already know which objections, based off of your previous history, you know which objections you're going to hear. You've already anticipated those objections. You've included them in your presentation, and you have addressed the objection before you hear it. When you do this well, you will limit the amount of objections that you have because you have already overcome the objection before you ever heard the objection. So that's number one. Number two, you want to acknowledge the objection. When someone raises an objection, one of the worst mistakes that you can make is to not acknowledge the objection that you've heard. You want to listen carefully. You want to make sure that you've understood the objection. Make sure that before you respond to the objection, that you have heard the objection and that your response to the objection is relevant to the objection itself. So number one, I will address it before I hear it. Number two, I'm going to make sure that I acknowledge it and that I address it. But when I do address it, I address it with relevant information. Thirdly, I want to question what I heard. I want to question and clarify. So I want to say, if I understand you correctly, this is what you said. And by doing that, I am making sure that before I respond to what they've said, that I've understood it and that I have responded in a way that is clear and relevant to what they're doing. So it may mean, in order to make sure that I understand you, let me ask you a question. So you don't have a problem with my professionalism. You don't necessarily have a problem with the product that I am providing you. Your question is around the warranty of the product. Am I anticipating you? A question like that to the person who's giving you an objection helps you now to make sure that when you respond, you are responding to the objection in a way that helps you to overcome the objection. When you have gotten an objection, the fourth tip that I would give you is to offer alternatives. It is to offer options. In the business world, I would have always offered an A, a B, and a C choice. In the business world, I was always taught, if you offer one proposal, the other option is no. But in order to take no off the table, I offer now an A choice and at a minimum a B choice. Because at least if I'm trying to close a sale, I am now giving the person that I'm serving 2 choices. So I'm giving them option A or option B, but when I've only put option A on the table, they have their own second option, which is no. When I give them an A and a B, I give them alternatives. I am now eliminating no. Sometimes I'm offering an option that's my C choice, which is ridiculous. There's no way anyone with sense would choose my C choice. But my C choice is really to put a choice so that they don't go with no. So I give it to them, but it's not a realistic piece, but I'm not doing it as if it's not realistic. So I'm saying I can install this, which is the top of the line. I can install this, which is builder grade. We could service what you have. It's over 30 years old. It's probably not warranted to do that. Which of those would you have me to do? Would you have me to replace it with the best that we can do, to replace it with an okay choice, or to service it, which would come with no warranty or no guarantee? Which one of those would you have me do? The way of overcoming an objection there is I'm going to get one of those three. So if I don't want no, and I want to overcome whatever the objection might be, the objection, I need to know kind of what they're going to, what choice would probably work best for them. So I want to provide alternatives. You're going to have a hard time overcoming objections when you only have one choice. Let me give you an example how this works with your children. You know that it's time for your child to go to bed. You could say, you ready to go to bed? And of course, they're going to say no. Overcoming an objection to going to bed would look like this. Would you rather go to bed now, or would you rather go to bed in 15 minutes? Now my child has a choice. They have an opportunity now to pick for themselves, because you already know they're probably not going to say, yeah, I'm ready to go to bed now. But if I give them a choice, you go to bed now, go to bed in 15 minutes. They now have said, okay, Mom, I'll go to bed at 8:15 as opposed to 8 o'clock. Then you have overcome the objection to going to bed, because the truth is you're going to bed. My thing is to get you to a place where you're going to bed without objecting to going to bed. It is, would you have 1 scoop of cereal or 2 scoops of cereal? But we're not talking about, are you going to have anything other than cereal? You can have 1 or you can have 2. Which one of those do you want? Well, I don't want cereal. You get, your choices are, you get 1 or you get 2. That's it. Would you like Fruit Loops, or would you like Frosted Flakes? Those are your choices. I don't want either one of those. I'm gonna reiterate, your choice are Fruit Loops or Frosted Flakes. That's how you overcome objections. You provide alternatives. If it's a case where you have someone who is not convinced by what you're offering or convinced by your leadership or what you want to do, then you can come back and you can give them evidence. In the past, we've run into this same situation. And when we had this situation, we were able to do this. In my past job as a manager, I ran into a very similar situation. We handled it this way. I think a very similar solution would work in this instance. If you're in sales, you could talk about a case where you were providing something for one customer or one client, and here is what we did with this previous client. If you have pictures of it, if you have brochures or something like that, that would show them your previous evidence, it would help you to overcome the objection to this particular customer. I think a last thing that you might be able to remember is that you do not want to become confrontational when you are overcoming objections. It is very, very important that you remember that you are expressing feelings, you are expressing sentiments that say, I'm on your side. I'm here as a leader. I'm here as an entrepreneur. I'm here as a parent. I'm here in whatever capacity I'm in. I'm on your side, trying to do what is best for you and best for the organization. I'm never at a place where I'm trying to twist your arm to do something that you don't want to do. And if your disposition comes across as, I couldn't care less which way you do, I'm giving you my professional advice. You could do A, B, or C. Personally, I think A is your best choice. If that's not within your budget, that doesn't quite fit your gut feeling of what you want to do, we could always do B or C, even though I don't recommend those as much. Which one of those are you most comfortable with? And I'll get started with implementing that process immediately. I'm Frank Grayton here on YouTube. Grateful that you have watched through this video. Like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace. You've been watching Frank Grayton on YouTube. Click the subscribe button for more future content.